It's truly an honor to be here tonight. I wasn't expecting this. John never told me that he nominated me, and I got a letter in the mail, and I thought, you know, John Leonard was just asking for me to renew my dues, and then I saw in the first sentence the word congratulations, and this, oh, what's this? So totally shocked. I wasn't expecting it. But I wouldn't be standing here today except for a couple really important people early on. And the first person I want to mention is Coach Bill Diaz. He was my high school coach, he was my club coach, and he gave me my first summer coaching job. And he told me, don't go into coaching because there's no money in it. And he really meant that. Nonetheless, after my second summer of coaching, for free, I just did it. I was a student engineer at Eastern Airlines and Florida Power and Light, all that stuff. I got hooked, and I ignored his advice. So, in the middle of my master's degree in engineering, I left school to pursue a coaching career. However, there was a little stumbling block. I was already a lieutenant in the Army through ROTC, and I was obligated to go 2 years in the Army. Fortunately, I got to choose where I wanted to go, and so I picked Fort Belvoir, 45 minutes from here, and I got to live in Georgetown. So I lived at 28th and Q, which is about a mile from here. But I wanted, you know, the reason I was doing this wasn't to be, I had to do the Army, but I wanted to be a swimming coach. So I went to a swim meet and asked all the coaches who wanted somebody to coach for free. And this one lady was sitting in a lounge chair. Her name was Jane Stafford. Some of you may know her from way back. And she said, sure, you can coach my team. So she had the Stafford Sea Devils, which was an inner city DC team. They trained at Walter Reed and Nation, there's a pool downtown that they had just built. So I got to coach that team from 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, and 6:30 to 8:30 at night. And I was down at Fort Belvoir, you know, for my job from 7 to 5. Well, the reason I moved to Georgetown was to go, you know, go to bars and, you know, find my wife, you know. And I only went once. Fell in love with coaching instead. Anyway, while I was coaching the Stafford Sea Devils, there was another coach on the team that was there coaching, and that was John Flanagan. And I was hoping John would be here tonight, but he's not. And he's a great coach, and I'm sure one of these days he's going to be up here. Let's see where I'm okay. Oh, okay. So meanwhile, while I was up here, Coach Diaz became the head coach at the University of Miami. So I got to go down there and be assistant coach. And what I'm so thankful to him for is that from day one, he had complete faith in me, and he let me basically, you know, almost take over the training program. And so I wrote almost all the workouts for the men and the women, and lo and behold, it worked out, and 2 years later, I became the head coach for the women, head coach of the Hurricane Swim Club, and assistant coach of the men. Well, that's a lot of hours when you do all that, but that was great. But that allowed me to become a better coach faster. And I'm so thankful that he had the faith in me to do that. The other person who made a difference in my life was and is my wife, Amy, right here, who from the day we were married, in 1978, she stood with me on the pool deck. She wanted to be an English professor, and she gave all that up to coach with me because I said we didn't get married to be apart, so I needed her on the pool deck with me. And she was just, like John said, she was the Pied Piper. Whenever she was coaching, we had twice as many swimmers on the team. They just loved her. Anyway, thank you, Amy. You were a great part of my life, obviously. But if I may, at this point, I wanted to switch gears here and just make a couple editorial comments about swimming. First, I'm really thankful that the 2008-2009 tech suit era is behind us. I pray that it never returns, because I feel that the tech suit is ruining the sport. Second, I'm kind of saddened about, in short course especially, how the underwater dolphin kick has almost taken away the difference between free, back, and fly. I mean, if you can swim 60% of the event underwater, that means they're 60% the same, those three strokes. So if it were up to me, and I know it's not, I'd replace the underwater distance off the turns to 10 to 12 meters. I know that'd be a pain in the butt for judging. You got to have, you know, extra little yellow buoys there, but that's what I'd try to do. But I think the worst decision ever made in swimming was to allow the dolphin kick off the turns on breaststroke. Okay, the idea was to make it judging easier, but then they ruled that you can do the dolphin kick before the pool. Oh my God. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Now it's harder to judge, because now you have to watch before, you got to watch after. I mean, come on. And it was just one more kick toward making it the same as the other three strokes. So that's my 3 cents. I'd like to recognize a couple other people who are here. I'm grateful to Kurt Wynantz right here. He was one of my swimmers at the UM All-American in the middle 80s. And he was instrumental in my getting selected to the University of Miami Sports Hall of Fame last year. So thank you very much, Kurt. I know you worked really hard on that. Also, I have another great friend here who worked closely with me over the years, and that's Bob Rose, who was the original founder of High-Tech Sports Software. Here's Bob right here. And really, John, I'm just so thankful to have been able to work with John and for those 13 years, and to be able to coach my son Dakota. And what a joy. Thanks, Dakota, for being such a hard worker and a great son. There's Dakota right there. And last but not least, I have my daughter Tara here that John mentioned, and 2 beautiful grandchildren, and she didn't tell you that. She has a 3rd one on the way. All right. Another male swimmer, I'm sure. Well, in closing, I want to congratulate my fellow inductees. Bob Matson, known for a long time. Remember him? And John T. Skinner, who I first tried to recruit in 1973. And Jill Sturkle. There you are. Okay, great. I'm honored to be with you 3. Coaching has allowed me to make many friends and follow my passion. So I thank the entire committee for selecting me, and I am deeply honored. Thank you.